Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Synapse Sessions. I am your host, Isabella Lohr, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into dreaming, and more specifically, why dreaming takes place. So, think about the last dream that you had. Maybe it didn't make sense, maybe it was emotional, or maybe it felt so real that when you woke up, you had to sit there for a second and remind yourself that it wasn't. For me, I remember having this reoccurring dream where I would be at my grandma's house with my brother as a child, and there was this human that would take different forms and try to destroy the house. The last dream I had like that, I'm pretty sure it was a dinosaur. And that experience, that blurry line between dreaming and waking, is something almost every human shares. And yet, for most of history, no one could really explain it. People used to think that dreams were messages from gods, predictions from the future, or symbols that needed decoding. And while those ideas may be very interesting, neuroscience today gives us a much clearer answer. Dreams are not random, they are not meaningless, and they are not accidents. They are the result of a very active, very busy brain doing important work while the rest of the body is at rest. In this episode, I'm going to explain what dreams are, what the brain is doing while we dream, and why scientists believe dreaming exists at all, step by step, in simple terms, without assuming you already know neuroscience. All right. So, before we talk about dreams, we need to talk about sleep itself, because dreaming only makes sense when you understand how sleep works. Sleeping is not just turning off. Your brain doesn't shut down at night, it just changes how it works. Scientists divide sleep into two main types, REM sleep and non-REM sleep. Throughout the night, you cycle through these stages about every 90 minutes. Early in the night, you spend more time in deep non-REM sleep, and later in the night, you spend more time in REM sleep. This matters because the most vivid, story-like dreams happen during REM sleep. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, REM sleep is also when brain activity increases, breathing becomes irregular, and the eyes move rapidly under closed eyelids, which is where it gets the name. So dreaming isn't something that happens randomly at any time, it's tied to a specific brain pattern. And here's where things get interesting. During REM sleep, brain scans show something very surprising. The brain almost looks awake. In an electroencephalogram, or EEG, studies show that fast, active brain waves during REM sleep are very similar to when you're conscious and alert. And even though your brain is active, your body is not. During REM sleep, the brainstem sends signals that temporarily paralyze most of your muscles. This condition is called REM atonia, and it exists to protect you from acting out your dreams. That's why you dream about running, fighting, or falling without actually moving. So REM sleep is the stage where your brain is highly active, the body is mostly shut down, and the mind is disconnected from the outside world. This combination creates the perfect environment for dreaming. Now let's talk about which parts of the brain are actually involved. One of the most important areas is the visual cortex, located at the back of the brain. This area processes vision while you're awake. During REM sleep, the visual cortex becomes active, even though your eyes are closed. That's why dreams feel visual, almost like watching a movie. Another major player is the amygdala. This is the part of the brain that handles strong emotions, especially fear and anxiety. Research by Lohr and Tononi, published in Trends in Cognitive Sciences, shows that the amygdala becomes more active during REM sleep than during waking life. That explains why dreams often feel emotional and why fear-based dreams are so common. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, which controls logic, planning, and decision-making, becomes less active. So, to put all of this together, dreams have strong emotions, vivid images, memory fragments, but without logical thinking. And that's why dreams feel real but don't make any sense. The emotional brain is turned up while the rational brain is turned down. One of the strongest scientific explanations for dreaming is that it helps with memory consolidation. Memory consolidation is the process of taking experiences from day to day and deciding what to keep, what to weaken, and how to store information long term. This happens mostly during sleep. According to researchers Walker and Stickold, studies show that people who get enough REM sleep perform better on learning tasks, especially emotional and skill-based learning. This is why dreams often include people you know, places you've been, and things that have stressed you out. Your brain is replaying pieces of your life, strengthening important connections. Diekelman and Born explain in the Nature Reviews Neuroscience that during sleep, the hippocampus, which stores new memories, communicates with the cortex where long-term memories are kept. Dreams may be what that process feels like from the inside. Another major role of dreaming is emotional regulation. During REM sleep, levels of stress-related chemicals like norepinephrine are lower. That creates a safe space for the brain to revisit emotional experiences. Harvard Medical School's Division of Sleep Medicine explains that this allows the brain to process emotional memories without triggering a full stress response. In simple terms, dreaming lets your brain feel emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This is why dreams often revisit emotional events, arguments, fears, embarrassment, loss. When REM sleep is disrupted, emotional regulation suffers. Studies show increased anxiety and irritability in people who don't get enough REM sleep. Nightmares, especially in PTSD, may represent a breakdown in this emotional processing system, where the brain keeps replaying trauma without resolution. There's also an evolutionary theory for dreaming. The threat simulation theory, proposed by Antti Revonso, suggests that dreaming evolved to help humans practice responding to danger. Across cultures, the most common dreams include being chased, being attacked, falling, and losing control. Revonso argues that these dreams act like simulations, allowing the brain to rehearse survival behaviors in a safe environment. Brain imaging shows that during threatening dreams, motor and sensory regions activate, even though the body doesn't move. Your brain is practicing how to react. So that stressful dream, it may be your brain's strengthening survival pathways. One influential theory is the activation synthesis theory, developed by Alan Hobson and Robert McCarley. This theory suggests that during REM sleep, the brain sends random signals to the cortex, and then the cortex tries to make sense of them by creating a story. While this theory emphasizes biology, Hobson himself acknowledged that the brain uses personal memories and emotions to build those stories. So dreams may start with random signals, but they are not shaped by who you are. So, why do we dream? The scientific evidence suggests that dreaming helps organize and store memories, regulates emotions, simulates threats, supports creativity, and reflects an active, adaptive brain. Dreaming is not useless noise. It's a sign that while your body rests, your brain is working, protecting your mental health, strengthening learning, and preparing you for the future. So, the next time you have a random dream about dinosaurs stomping in your house, or jumping in a random pool of jello, remember that your brain wasn't wasting time. It was doing science level maintenance. That's all for today, guys. Thank you.